Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Fitzroy.
I'm W2 Hopelyn Hill.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. Did you say where you're originally from?
Yes, I'm from Jamaica, from a little community called Peckham in Clarendon.
What was it like for you growing up in that community?
It's a very close-knit community, very family-orientated. We look out for each other. So my grandparents lived there, and my parents and all my siblings, they're still there as well. And nieces and nephews are still residing there. But I had a very happy childhood growing up in Jamaica.
In terms of school, what school did you attend with?
So I attended Edwin Allen Comprehensive High School at the time, and I was a member of the athletic team, track team, and I represented the school at Girls and Boys Champs a couple of times, and I was a member of the pen relay team as well.
Fortunately for me, I was offered a scholarship to a one-division university in the United States, but unfortunately for unforeseen circumstances, I had to forfeit that.
As it relates to your military background, how did you first become aware of the army?
So my mother always traveled the UK on holiday, and I decided I wanted to come and visit 1 year, and I came over with my aunt, and I stayed with my aunt for almost a year, and I was speaking to friends that I met here, and they told me about the British Army. So I did a bit more research into it, and because I was still into my athletics, I was told that if I joined the army, I could continue doing athletics. That's one of the main reasons as well why I joined, and I have no regrets till this day.
Can you recall what careers office you went to prior to you joining?
So I went to the Carrier's office in Manchester, Piccadilly, on Piccadilly Street in Manchester.
All right. And what was it like for you week one, day one, basic training?
Oh God. So I turned up on the Sunday, and then we were taken to our accommodation. It was small bunk beds almost, and obviously you had to make sure when you spread them like all the corners or neat, no crease. So we would get up in the morning and we would make sure we iron. We spread the bed and we iron it to make sure everything is flat and neat. And then for training itself, it was an eye-opener, because there was a lot of physical training, a lot of. But for me, I coped very well because I was fit anyways. My athletics background contributed to me being able to go through basic training on the physical side.
As it relates to your passing on parade, how did you feel then?
Oh, it was a very proud moment for me. Unfortunately, I couldn't have my relatives with me because they were all residing in Jamaica. But I did manage to get one of my cousins who was living here to come with me. But I felt very, very proud that day. And I never forget that day. Yeah.
Prior to you joining, did you actually knew what you were getting yourself into?
No, not really. It was a new experience, and it was an eye-opener for me as well, because back home you think, okay, life is hard and rough to some extent, but coming here and having to sleep outside, we're like, oh my God, but I've never had to sleep outside in Jamaica, and I come into this country which is a first world country, and having to sleep outside. But after you pretty quickly you kind of understand the whole process and why you're doing all of this, because it's building resilience and transforming you from a civilian into a fighting soldier, if I may say so. It was very interesting. And I did enjoy it, and like I said, being fit played a massive part for me, because if I wasn't, then I would have probably struggled a lot, because there was a lot of fitness involved. in passing through the phase 1 training.
So the field army is totally different from basic training or phase 2. What sort of understanding you have as soon as you get there? Did you understand the difference as soon as you get there?
So when you pass out of basic training, for yourself, you feel like you can take on the world, because you think, well, I've gone through basic training, I've done everything, rigorous training and all that, so I'm strong, I'm fit, I'm ready for anything. And I turned up at my first unit, which was a unit, and it was no different, because fitness is #1 priority, and I didn't struggle at all. Like I said, I was really fit, so it was easy for me to integrate into that regiment. I'm always involved in the fitness regime, and my trade, my primary trade, I was able to carry out my taskings as well with ease. So it wasn't really different in the sense that being able to keep up with the physical aspect of it. So yeah, it was fine for me, really.
Have you served outside of this country?
Yes, I have served overseas, Germany predominantly.
You have gone on multiple exercises as well?
Yes, I've been on multiple exercises within Germany as well, and Canada, and I've had a couple of deployments overseas as well, like Iraq.
Of all the exercises that you have gone in, which is the most memorable one for you?
I would say Canada. It was extremely cold and in the middle of nowhere. And there's like no facilities per se, you're just like sleeping in a tent. So you wash, eat, everything, the same place. But it was an experience that really kind of bring out the true soldiering in you. So yeah, I did enjoy that, and you kind of, that's where you know, we all say, but it actually come into action, real action, what it actually means.
What's your views as it relates to female joining the infantry now?
I think it's a good move. The British Army opening up the opportunity for females to join the infantry. I mean, we have very capable females out there, and if I may say so, you know, if you're able to do the job, why not? You know, you shouldn't be discriminated because of your gender. If you can do the job, you can do the job, and that's what's important. So yes, I do welcome the idea of females having the opportunity to join the infantry.
You have progressed over the years, you're W2. What sort of encouragement do you want to give to your subordinates or any younger soldier in terms of rank?
So my advice would be, you have to, from the outset, you have to know whether or not you want to have a career, because that's the #1 thing that will drive you to want to achieve more and always want the next rank up. If you haven't decided really what you want, then it makes it difficult. Hard work. To get where I am, you have to put in the work, and you have to make sacrifices. I had to make sacrifices from the beginning, i.e., you know, my daughter, leaving her back in Jamaica so I could forge a career here. I have no regrets, because it's paid off the dividend, and I'm here now to advise anybody based on lived experience. I would say you have to be willing to make sacrifices, but firstly, you have to know that you want to make it a career.
In terms of persons out there who would want to join and thinking, well, they won't be entitled to certain things in the army, what sort of encouragement you'd give to them, or what you would say to these persons?
Well, in terms of entitlement, there's endless opportunities in the army. And the beauty about being in the British Army is that you can join one corps and you spend a number of years and you realize, oh, you know, this is not for me. It's not the end of your career. You can always transfer to another course where you think that's what you really want to do. That's the beauty of being in the British Army. The opportunities are endless. So I would encourage anyone who wants to join the army. You can join the army and you will eventually find your feet if that's what you want to do, have a career.
Okay. What I didn't ask, when did you enlist?
I enlisted August 2003.
Okay, and you've seen yourself serving for roughly how long? You have done it 22 years?
No, so my initial contract was on open engagement, which means you serve for 22 years. And then they came in with a new contract, which is called Veng Long, which is an additional 2 years. So you can serve up to 24 years. And then also they've introduced alongside Veng Long, Veng Full, which is an additional 6 years as well. So fortunately for me, I was offered Veng Long, which means I can serve up to 24 years. And I've recently been offered Veng Full, which is an additional 6 years. So in total now, opposed to 3 years remaining to serve, I've got 9 years.
At your rank as a W2, what's your role on a day-to-day basis?
So, as a part of the Adjutant General's Corps, we're human HR administrators, and we administer the pay, finances, docs for personnel. My role is to administer a team of personnel, and we administer the regiment as well, both in barracks and on deployment.
I would like to express my deepest gratitude to you, Madam, for making this interview possible. And I do hope that all the knowledge that you have obtained, you'll be able to pass it on to your subordinates. Thanks for all the hard work that you have done and all the countries that you have served, the UK and elsewhere. Thank you so very much for making this interview possible, Madam.
You're welcome.
I do hope and pray next time I see you, you have more to tell me about promotion. All right?
Sure.
Thanks. Thanks again.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're definitely welcome.